welcome to the Geriatric Millennials. This is Jayme.
And this is Beth.
And we are two oldish, youngish ladies doing one of Beth's favorite things.
I want to say soon to be your favorite thing because
No,
you were getting
I
into
came
it.
up with a list instantly. I think that was the fastest ever. I think I'm in a mood to gripe.
Yes.
I guess.
I love it. I love a little gripe session.
I think that my gripes are going to be relatable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we do this.
Yeah.
You know, and so we talk about it and we're like, yes, I get it. I feel it. Like, I know what you mean.
And mine, at least for the most part, are not like gripes that are like, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the world that we can gripe about that is really real and important and meaningful.
Yeah.
Most of my gripes are not.
Yeah.
They're just slight preferences and annoyances.
Right.
But just really get under my skin.
Yeah.
Okay, give me one.
I'm going in hard and deep.
Okay. Jeez.
I know that sounds weird, but I had an experience earlier this week because I have a very part-time job at a winery, and we have great wine and we have great flatbread or pizzas or whatever you want to call them.
Yes,
I think
I've
people
had
call
them.
them like artisan flatbreads
Oh my
or
gosh,
whatever.
it's a pizza.
Yeah, it's pizza. Anyway, I had this group come in and there were 3 couples and they were a little bit older and they sat down and I don't even know. Okay. They were all, except for one lady, they were just kind of rude.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of they were not easy. They were all being very picky. Like they were, I guess just maybe they were uncomfortable, not familiar. They'd never been there before. And so they wanted their comfort food and drink. And that wasn't what we were. We were not that for them. Like we don't have Coors Light on the menu. Like we don't have like a meat lover's pizza. Like we do have options and they're all very delicious, but that's not what these folks were used to, I think, or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to explain it, but essentially they just didn't treat me great. They just didn't treat me very well. And this one guy in particular was just continued to make comments about the fact that he had a pizza at our place. Oh, okay. So this person actually had been there in the past and he had this pizza he really enjoyed, but we don't have it on the menu anymore because we do seasonal pizzas. And he just would not let it go. I mean, he just continued to make comments and he continued, but like dumb comments, like as if it was my fault or as if like there was something I could do about it or just like how I was so mean and just dumb, right? Like I was just over it. I just didn't enjoy serving their table at all. But I did. And another example was the woman's looking at the menu and she's asking me, what is the lightest? Mm-hmm. And I wanted to clarify what she was talking about. And so I said, do you mean the beer? Because I know I assumed she was looking at the beer menu, but I wanted to clarify. And she's like, duh, to me.
Ew.
Yeah. And I just
Gross
looked at
behavior.
her and I said, you are at a winery.
Mm-hmm.
No, I said, this is a winery.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't sure, which beer or which, what drink menu you were looking at. Because we also have a variety of wine, obviously. And there's like a range of lightness of wine. And we get asked that a lot of like what's a lighter wine? So anyways, when she said that to me, I was just kind of in some way, not shocked, but in some way just like I wasn't even sure how to react. Like who has the right to talk to somebody, to talk to me like that and to just treat me like not like this is a random stranger. And she's like, duh, to me. Like, do you know what
I get it. No, I totally
feel
feel you.
Like, what is happening right now? And so I just went in, like left their table and I was just kind of shaking my head like, what is up with these people? Like, what is their deal? Like they're just kind of rude and annoying. But I mean, there's a range of rude and annoying people. And unfortunately, that's just part of being human and being in the service industry. You encounter them. And most people are actually pretty nice, but occasionally there's people that are just like rude and annoying. But these people were kind of like on the further extreme level. And I'm like, whatever. There was other people that I was serving and who were very nice and friendly and stuff. And so for the most part, I, have a good experience when I work there. But these people were kind of making it not so great. And so then they get their pizzas and I'm bringing them, their next round of drinks or whatever at the same time. And so then they pause and then they all like hold hands. And then the one guy who was continuously making comments to me, like started praying, and he prayed and prayed and prayed for like a very long time.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just like standing there being respectful, like waiting till he was done before I like put the drinks down. And his wife looked at me and she just kind of like gave me this indication, like, or like mouthed to me like, oh, he prays for so long or something like that.
Gosh.
Right. And I was just like, whatever. And he finishes, I give him their drinks, whatever. But I just got this feeling because I also like, I consider myself to be a Christian, and I just felt like that's also these people were by like doing this prayer, because I could overhear their prayer and they were like, doing like a Christian style prayer. And I just felt like icky. And I just felt like, absolutely not. Like, what is it? Like, they just didn't match. It didn't match. Like the way that they were talking and like to me, and the way that they were kind of treating me as a person in the service industry. And then like, to me, I just have a higher expectation for Christians to actually be kind. And like, that is not how I felt like they were. And then I also am a Christian, and I was kind of like, well, I don't want to be a Christian like that. Like, I felt very judgy of them. And I also felt just kind of like turned off to Christianity, because I was just like, if that's what, I don't know, it just triggered a lot of those kind of things in me. And it just, like I just kind of have that feeling, and I don't know. I need to kind of debrief about it, I guess. But that's a gripe that I have, because I'm just like,
Yeah. As you were saying that, it reminded me like when I would tell people I was like a youth minister and stuff, I'd be like, I'm a Christian, but not a gross one. Like I'd always want to be like, not the gross kind that's like performative and like, says all this stuff, but their actions don't match. And, just not that.
Who knows? I mean, I know nothing about these people's lives and like their lives, and they could be great people, but I will say that the experience that I had with them wasn't great. And it was just it just gave me a bad feeling, and I didn't like it. And so now I'm going to gripe about it.
Heck yeah. Gripe away, baby. I have, I usually am full of gripes. Most are pretty petty. One that really gets me, and there's a few people in my life that are, guilty of this. Not calling anybody out, and if you think it's you, it probably is. But I don't like. I like comedy. I think things are funny.
Yeah,
but I'm very particular, and that's not to say I have like an elevated sense of comedy and highbrow, none of that. A lot of things I don't find funny. Like I just don't laugh at it, or I don't laugh on the outside. I was like, that was interesting, whatever. Yeah. But I have a few people in my life that will be like telling me a story, something like, no, you got to see this. This was the funniest YouTube video or meme. You got to see this. And they will show it to me. And instead of like, and this is in person. Okay.
And they're expecting you to laugh.
Yeah. So it's like, if you send me a TikTok that you say is funny, and I just might extra smile. I might go, and that's as good as you're going to get. But I enjoyed it. No, these are people that will send me, it's specifically one person, but it's okay. These are people that will send me like, oh no, you got to see this. And they'll either pull it up on their phone, which horrific, or they're like, pull it up. And I'll pull the thing up, and they're having me watch it. And we're watching me watch
your
it,
reaction.
And they're sitting on my shoulder basically. No. And they are freaking a smile ear to ear, giggling because they think it's so funny. And I'm watching it like looking at the timer, like how much more of this do I have to watch? It's the worst thing ever. And they are waiting for me to respond. I'm like, yeah, that was funny. And I feel so bad, but I also feel so imposed upon to try and muster up a giggle for something that I don't think is funny or I think is dumb. And it's like, I'm not like a meanie girl. Like there's a lot of that I don't like. I can appreciate it, but I just am not like, it doesn't make me like just fall over in laughter. And I have a couple people, namely one, that really is in that realm. And I feel so bad because I just am like, not for me. Anyway, so gripe.
I got you.
Gripe.
I
like,
hear
don't
you.
try to force me to laugh.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No. And don't watch me because
don't watch me in that. It feels
awkward.
invasive.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this right now.
And then because you don't want to be fake laughing.
No. And I have before because I'm like, I need you. Because sometimes it's not just one thing. It's like, now watch this thing. Now watch this thing. And I'm like, I need you. I need it to stop.
If this one
it's fine.
You just got to try to not get in that situation maybe with that one person.
I try. I do my best to accommodate everyone's needs. Anyway. Some people just really need to share.
Yeah. It's true. Okay. Here's a gripe that I have, and it is weeds.
Oh my gosh.
Weeds.
Preaching to the choir.
Weeds and more weeds upon weeds.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to get them out of my life.
No.
I don't know how to get control. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? It's because they just keep coming back.
Yeah. I don't know how to do it without like doing damage to the environment.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Or like ingesting poison that is going to give you cancer or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I was reading I was at I have a whole dandelion crisis and it is just awful. And I hate it so much. And I was doing them all manually and then they exploded. Good luck with that. And then because
each one of them has like 2,000 seeds or something.
It was awful. I got them all out of my yard and they all came back the next day. And I was like, I hate my life. And I went to the store and I bought something that was supposed to be like better. Like it was like non-toxic. It was safe for pets and kids and stuff. Cause I just don't know. Anyway, it did not work. And like, I'm to the point now where I'm like, I'm going to get the poison. But when I was reading about the poison, it's like, you had to wear head to toe PPE. You had to like, they recommended like taking your clothes off that you wore while you were wearing it and washing them separately before like
oh my gosh, what kind of poison is this?
It was just like a normal, like everyday when the ones that you buy to get rid of dandelions and weeds in your grass. So it's like, that stuff is like pretty volatile in my opinion. Anyway, I hear you on the weeds. Also, related to weeds, TikTok thinks I have a drug addiction, I think, because I have been searching so much for like getting rid of weeds and like TikTok weed is like one of those keywords in TikTok that like if you search for it, it won't even bring stuff up unless you're like very, very specific. So the first time, a couple times I like, getting rid of weeds. And it was just like, if you are finding yourself turning to substances, you know, there are places that you can find help. And it was just like this list of like things like weed is not the answer. I'm like, listen, TikTok, I get that you're trying to protect people. This ain't it. And so it's just like, I was just like, okay, this is really, which, I think this is a gripe that I'm going to do 2 gripes in a row.
Okay.
So another TikTok gripe is the fact that because of censorship, people have to say certain things in weird ways.
Yeah. Like
unalived or, all the things like murder and things like that. You can't say that. So they use all these other words, which sounds crazy and I hate it. So that's very annoying and gripeful, but I understand why, because of censorship and whatever, the algorithm. The other thing on TikTok that gets me is, I'm in my homeowner era. So I'm always looking up things of like organization, like how to like streamline processes, all this stuff. And so I see a lot of organization videos and I cannot handle the aesthetic, quote unquote, girlies that are out there making these organizational videos. First of all, a lot of them is like high consumerism because you're having to like, decanter everything and unbox everything and buy a bunch of stuff. I don't really love that.
Yeah.
But the thing that is the most annoying is that when they are doing the videos, they slam everything down. So like when they're putting the applesauces in the thing, the container, the like tap,
is
tap,
it
tap,
supposed
tap,
to be
tap.
Like ASMR or something about
I guess, but it's like irritating ASMR.
Yeah.
And it's like some of the things like a lot of times they'll show you the outcome and then they'll show you the process and I see the outcome like, oh, and then you see the process, you're like, oh my gosh, the tapping is going to kill me.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like tap, tap, tap. And it's just like, and all these little cuts and stuff. And I'm like, this is beyond annoying. Yeah. Like I much rather, I like the people that just like show you it messy and then they do the like little swivel with their hand and the snap and then it's all perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
You don't need to see all the steps with the
tapping. The tapping. It was so aggravating that I made a note in my phone because I was driving one day and it hit me with a full force of this gripe. And I was like talking to Suri like, hey, take a note, things that really bother me. And I just go off. There's a paragraph in my phone right now of me just talking about these influencers and how much the tapping is making me lose it. So anyway, gripe.
I have a gripe. This sounds so dumb, like bad and entitled and all of the things probably that I gripe about other people. But I'm going to gripe that I don't have a staff.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
It'd be nice to have like a house manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a house cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
I want a chef.
Mm-hmm.
I want a yard maintenance person. I want all the stuff. I want all the stuff.
Yeah.
I do.
100%.
It's so much work and I love my life. And also I just can't keep up with all the work and all the fun and all the stuff. I want to have it all. Like I want a clean house. I want home cooked meals. I want quality time with my family. I want playtime. I want rest. I want to work out. I want healthy food. I want all these things. I want a weed-free yard. And I just can't seem to have it all at the same time. And I think it would be so helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
If I had a staff.
The need to outsource is real. Like as an adult, I don't understand how people do this. I don't understand how I do it. And it's just me. I'm sometimes like, I think I need to get a roommate. I mean, I'm not going to, but it's like, I need a helper mate because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it's amazing how like, I understand now more than ever how my parents growing up, we would, they go and take kids to the games and this, and then you get home and they would just sit in the living room and just want to watch a show and just do nothing. And I get it. I mean, I do that now, but it's just like, yeah, I get it. Yeah. I want to do nothing, but I have to do everything.
Yes.
And
I
wow.
know.
Okay. This one is specific and really related to a specific Libby book that I got recently on my Libby app. I was very excited because like I like to listen to books at work sometimes because it's like I'm doing like tedious tasks. I like to have like one AirPod thingy in, and I just like listen to a nice like thriller, like a Frida, something like that, something just easy listening. I don't have to really pay attention. And I started listening to this book, and I think it's Vera Chan's detective agency or something. And it's about this Chinese woman that decides to investigate a murder anyway. And I was like, okay, it was available now. I took it. It wasn't that long. And as I'm listening to it, I'm like, I don't really like it. I don't really love it. It's not hitting the way I need it to hit. But I just kept listening to it. And I just kept listening to it. And my gripe was against myself for peer pressuring me to keep listening to it because it's not that it was a bad book. It just wasn't the book for me in that moment. And so as I'm listening to it, I'm realizing it's irritating me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be listening to this book, but I'm hours in now. And I'm just like, we're not gonna not finish it because A, we're really behind on our Goodreads, goal for the year. And B, I don't want to try to figure out something else to listen to.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't want to be doing this. And I'm actively like listening to it. I'm like in the car, just trying to get it done with. I'm working around the house listening to it. I'm like, I don't want to be doing this. I'm like, you don't have to. I'm like, yes, you do. So my gripe is, I guess, against me for like the peer pressure to force myself to finish it. Yeah. I'm like, you could have just stopped and listened to something you wanted to. I'm like, no, I couldn't. I couldn't at that point.
Was there any redemption by the time you got to the end of the book? Was it, at least a good ending or anything, or no? You just hated it the whole time and you just made yourself do it.
Again, the book wasn't bad and it didn't have horrible reviews. I gave it a 2 because I just couldn't do it, but it just didn't do it for me. And it was a little predictable at times. It was all the things and, but not, I don't know. I think even maybe I've won an award. I don't know. It just wasn't for me in that moment. It hit me in the wrong season of life.
Yeah.
So no hate to that author. I think everybody should try it. You might love it. I did not.
I'm not going to try it. Okay. I don't want to.
You don't have to.
I don't want to because of that review.
Okay, it was somewhat entertaining. No. I mean,
Dude, there are so many great books out there.
I know, but every once in a while, you just I've done this before though too, where I've started a book that I ended up loving, and I didn't finish it, and then I came back to it like years later, and like, oh, I loved that, but it just was wrong timing. Yeah, this was a wrong timing. It was like meeting the wrong person or the right person at the wrong time.
That's unfortunate.
In book form, and unfortunately, we just are never going to be together now. So anyway, gripe.
Can I just gripe about the price of gas?
Oh my gosh.
It is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's over $100 to fill up our van.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's just
cool. A gripe. Yeah.
I also want to gripe about getting dressed in spring weather.
Mm-hmm.
I have a gripe about it because I don't ever really feel confident in my choice. And I know I need to do layers, but it's going to be warm for part of the day, but then it gets cold. And I just can't do one or the other. And I can't do both, like wear dress for warm weather, dress for cold weather. Like I feel like I don't know how to dress in the spring and I don't like it. I'm just like, can you just be hot or cold so that I can dress for the day?
I want to state for the record that you have given me this gripe before, and I'm
sure I have.
I feel like
every spring.
Every spring, I feel like you're like, what is happening? Give me the heat, because I know you don't want winter. You're like, just give me the heat.
I know,
so I can be in my dresses.
Teasers of warm weather, and I'm like, yay! And then it goes down into the 30 degrees.
Yeah, nighttime right now is killing me a little bit because it's like I'm okay, and then all of a sudden I'll get into bed. I'm like, I'm freezing all of a sudden, and I don't know why. 5 minutes ago when I was standing up, I was fine. And now that I'm in the bed, I am like cold.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Okay. This is not specific to anyone. I'll say that for sure. Although one man on a television show really just made me realize how much I hate this. And, I'm a big reality TV show girly for very specific shows. I love Vanderpump and Vanderpump has a new cast and it's like, whatever. Wasn't loving it. I've been watching The Valley because it's currently on and it has a lot of the Vanderpump cast and whatever. It's on their second season. And there's this one guy on there and he's like a voice actor. He's like been an actor, I think most of his life. And he's a voice actor primarily now. And he has a wife and he always jokes he has 4 kids under 4. And he's just a little bit annoying to me. I mean, no hate or whatever, but he likes to put a bit on. And so they were doing like a sip and see party for their newest child.
A what?
A sip and see, where you come and meet the baby for the first time, like after the baby.
A sip and see?
Yeah, you come and sip drinks and see the baby.
Oh.
Like, I think sometimes it replaces a baby shower, especially if it's like a kid where you've already had 1 or 2 kids. And now it's like, we're not giving you a baby shower for every kid because that's not what we're going to do.
You already got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you're done. And you're old now and you have money. So
just
come on. So you come sip and see the kid. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But it was a cowboy theme or like a something barnyard theme. I don't know. And he was like in this cowboy mode. So he kept using this like cowboy accent and saying cowboy things. And his wife before the party is trying to have a conversation with him, like a real conversation. And he will not drop the bit. And that just sparked something in me of like, when somebody cannot drop the bit, especially when it's like you cannot read the room and
when
see
you're
like
not on
it's
the same
done.
Page. No.
Yeah. And it's like I've had this in my real life where somebody like you're just trying to like, okay, I get it. But like I actually need to ask you a real question or whatever. And they just keep going. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm not going to do it. And they think they're being annoying. So funny and they're like giggling to themselves. I'm like,
you're the only one having a good time here.
Yeah. And you're actually making my life miserable right now. And I don't want to like yuck your yum. But at the same time, you're stealing my joy.
Yeah.
Gripe.
Yes. Ugh. All right, I have one more. And that is unsportsmanship behavior.
Okay.
I have kids that play sports.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to talk about because I think I know exact game that you're going to talk about.
Oh, really?
Because I heard another parent talking about the game that I think you're going to talk about.
My gosh. Okay, so yes, recently my son, there's 2 rival high schools in our town that, compete with each other and take it to another level, I would say. In these, it doesn't matter what sport it is, like, or event. They're very competitive with each other. And anyway, they were playing each other and it was a tied game. And it was a very intense game. There was a lot of aggression. There was a ton of pushing. There was red cards involved on both sides. Like both teams got red cards, which means the player is taken out of the game and then they miss the next game because it's like a really serious offense because there was some pretty serious stuff like pushing and fighting and just real like serious tension, okay? This game was 0-0 the entire game and then it went into overtime. And in overtime, the other team, not the team that my son was on, but the other team scored a goal. Okay, so yay for them, but really sad for us, right? Really sad for this. Okay, and also just to paint the picture, my kid's school has kind of always been the underdog in sports, like all around. The other school is just they put a lot more. They have better sports programs. They're just more. focused on that, and they put a lot into their sports programs, and it's probably more of a priority. And like my son's school has a really strong arts side and arts program, but like when it comes to sports, they're almost always like the underdog. Okay. But their soccer has been like steadily like getting better and better, and like their team has gotten stronger and better. And so like last year they're in the playoffs against this school, and it was tied game, went into 2 overtimes and then penalty kicks, and then the other team won. And it was just kind of devastating because it was like, oh, they were so close, you know? And so it kind of brought back some of those feelings of being tied and then going into overtime, and then, okay. So the other team won. It was so sad because I just want this school to win, you know, like I just really want them to win. But my gripe is that they score this goal, the other school, and then their team proceeds to like run up to our side, like where the fans are, and they were just like sneering and like almost like in your face, like kind of attitude, and we're just like puffing up their chest, and we're just like basically like rubbing it in to the fans.
Which are a lot of parents.
Which is almost all parents and the students like who are cheering for their school kid.
But I remember soccer games. It's a lot of adults watching.
Yeah. But it was
weird.
Like I've never seen that at any game before, right? Like they ran up to our side because they separate the sides. Like you've got like one school on one side and another school on the other side. And they ran up to our side and they were just like, like, look at us. Like, yeah, like, in your face kind of thing. And it was so uncalled for. It was like, seriously? And then they went to their side and stuff, but it was, and then in that, there was like some pushing and shoving and stuff like that. And then the refs came over, and then it was like a brawl almost. And then the ref was putting hands on the kid and like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. And then a kid got a red card like after the game from that team. And so there was a lot of drama, but I just didn't appreciate the way that I felt like it was very unsportsmanship behavior, because it was like they weren't just celebrating their win and like going up to their fans and being like, yay, like we did it. They had to go to the other team and be like, nah, like look at us, like, yeah, like we're so much better. Like it just was an attitude that did not go well. It was like a confrontation. And it was just not cool. And I felt like it was very unsportsmanship-like. And that is my gripe.
I fully stand by your gripe, because I feel like by then, I think that sportsmanship is such a good thing to learn and how to take a loss and whatever. And I feel like the puff the chest out person is also the person on the road rage person, you know, or the person that cannot control their emotions and feelings and, you know, yell at a barista or are rude to somebody that's just trying to give them a freaking pizza and a Coors Light. Right?
Yeah. Or like a beer that's a lot better than a Coors Light, because we don't even have Coors Light, and like you need to expand your horizons. But side note.
If you're enjoying the podcast and would like to support the show, you can share episodes with your friends and family, follow us on Instagram at the Geriatric Millennials, or leave us a positive review and rating, all which help us to grow. Our theme music was created by the Finley Ghost. Check out their latest album now. Thank you so much.